Hello and welcome to a very special, video, everybody. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Hi, it's Farvifian Guard.
Hey,
He's an author and he runs a channel. You probably don't know that, guys, but hey, check his stuff out. I'll put the link in the bottom and let's talk about a video I recently saw from a little known YouTuber. He's got a tiny channel, I'm joking
you're not
entirely.
selling this.
Um, the Outer Circle, he had an interesting video. Now, I covered the little Horus Heresy hearsay thing a little while ago when it came out, and I thought it was stupid. You saw that, I'm assuming, Farv, right?
I saw part of it, but we also discussed it earlier, and that was frankly enough.
Okay. Well, oh my gosh, this is a really rough one. Well, he put out a video talking about it where he referred to things with the Horus Heresy's Abandonware in a way, and that it's really kind of insulting the way Games Workshop has been, well, frankly, treating the game. But
Yeah.
I thought, hey, let's talk about it for a second. I'm going to start out with this. I'm not going to pull wool over anyone's eye. No, it's not abandonware in the way that most of us would like it to be. Because I would be honest, if it was abandonware and they just got the hell out of the way, I think a lot of people would be a lot happier, honestly.
Probably, yeah.
Um, Leaving the system mostly to its own devices would be fantastic. But the reality of the situation is, honestly, we are dealing with a product that Games Workshop kind of screwed the pooch with on their own when they took it out of, well, normal, or the reason people would buy it, kind of like dipping their toes in from 40K into some of it,
Mm-hmm.
and some other issues along that line. But honestly, um, it's not abandonware. It is a situation where it's a company that is disinclined and disinterested. And I think that's nowhere more apparent than when we saw the Space Wolf release, with how much they put into that as opposed to how much they didn't care for Dark Angels, really. They didn't care for Blood Angels. The
Mm.
Year of Chaos! Woo!
God help me.
Do you feel Year of Chaos? Well, I do, but not in the right way. Like, Orktober, or the Year of Orcs. I know, I'm rambling, but this is a
Not
stupid
really, though. I
situation to
mean,
be. Um, Quite honestly, this is my thing, is that Games Workshop has been treating their fan bases like whipped dogs for a while. They don't treat them with any degree of respect. They treat them like dumb children where they jingle keys in front of their face. And honestly, most of their marketing is about selling you stuff that you have no use for and don't really have an interest in a lot of cases, because they sell people on doop 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 hype. And this is why I've repeatedly said, hey guys, just don't buy something for a month and see if you still have the interest in it. Cuz oh my lord, it is
I know, man. I know.
ridiculous, the situation of having a system like this that, you know, it's not everyone's cup of tea. It's not the greatest thing on earth. It won't cure cancer and it won't bring back your dog or make your mom, not angry with you. But it was something that was pretty popular. It was doing well. I've heard reports that it did a lot to keep Games Workshop out of bankruptcy to a degree. And I don't know. I look at the whole thing and go, this really is just one of those situations where, yeah, you could feel like it's just been kind of thrown out and left to its own devices, but it really
Oh yeah.
hasn't, has it? You know?
No, it's just GW is as litigious and bitchy about Horus Heresy as they are with anything else, but at the same time, they don't want to do anything to support it.
And I'm going to say this. I think just considering, and I'm just going to put it like this, just considering the general reaction of people towards all of these rumors of a new edition coming out kind of makes the point just how much, well, honestly, people are concerned over Games Workshop not leaving it as abandonware.
Yeah,
Because
basically.
honestly, I think a lot of the rumors and discontent has a lot more to do with people being not confident in Games Workshop's ability. In fact, the thing is, I think it speaks to the idea that a lot of people consider it an in-shittening when Games Workshop involves itself. Like they actively make things worse, and that's why we see so much in the regard of like rumors, because a lot of it's like people going, oh no, they're gonna make it worse. Because do people really feel like Games Workshop has made it better? Because I haven't gotten that feeling from a lot of the enthusiasts. And
Uh-uh.
I'm not talking about the people who got a free product and then made videos about it and then never did anything again. I'm talking purely people who actually play and care about the game. And I've just seen like pure negative for the most part when it comes down
Yeah,
to it.
I mean, from the people who are even bothering to talk about it at all,
Oh yeah,
because I've seen a lot more apathy about a lot of this recently too.
well, it really does make me concerned when I hear, "Oh, Games Workshop is gonna make another edition." It's like, are they gonna fix anything? Because they
Nope.
don't do it with, or they don't fix things with their mainline games.
Oh no, that would be doing something.
Well, and really, it just ah, it's one of those frustrating situations where I get so sick of all the damn people who go, "I got a free product from Games Workshop. It is fine," or people who just want you to blow freaking rainbows up their Watusies,
I mean,
and
it's
I'm
right. It's right up there with the legitimacy of fucking Hassan Abi promoting Ubisoft shit.
it's definitely got the line of, "I got paid by them. Their product is fine," and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, okay. And I'm not going to even attack people. Like, I'll say this. I don't like Volric, but he seems to at least care about the product, even though I disagree with him strongly. Um, but the point is, I feel that we're not facing a situation where abandonware would be perceived as bad. Now,
No, I
what's
suppose not.
happening is something completely different. This is called poor management. This is
Yeah.
a management style that really does annoy people because, like, and he brings up Call of Duty, that people know what's coming down the road with these other companies, and I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
and
Sometimes, I mean, but not
that's the thing,
always.
is that
Sometimes they lie.
you generally have an idea of what's being released, and the big problem I think has been said numerous times, especially when it comes to Games Workshop, is not knowing and them relying on hype marketing and this being a continuous doubling down, because I think they don't well, one, they don't respect their customers. Two,
Not even
they
close, yeah.
rely heavily on selling people on stuff that
That they
they
don't
really
need or want, yeah.
have no use for. So instead of going, hey, these are the things that are going to be coming out, you know, you'll be able to plan your list out or whatever, you get sold on, oh my God, dude, look at the newest thing. Yeah. Like 90s marketing, but, you know, with less screaming and explosions. Um, but the problem I have with all of this is when we get down to the question, people would absolutely love Games Workshop to actually step out of the process. And honestly, I feel the community would handle it much better and then in a more eloquent manner. But the problem comes down to is you're dealing with a company where the the obvious root of what they're likely to do is so bad and
Yeah.
so cause such ill content that you look at it and you're like, yeah, a lot of these rumors get the attention they do because people are going, oh no, they're going to ruin the game more. And that is a, oh my lord, that is such a bad situation to be in from a company perspective, and Games Workshop has done nothing to address this. I'm not even sure
Not even
they're
close.
aware that there's this discontent, or if they are, they're not willing to do anything because it goes
Or
against
to acknowledge that it is a issue that
a
exists.
marketing style that they're, well, frankly comfortable with. And I think it's despicable. It preys upon people with low impulse control, and it's just disrespectful and
If people were
childish.
being 100% honest about this, they should have the same kind of like outrage about this about they did with like EA and 2K loot box bullshit. Where it's literally just preying
Uh,
on people with no impulse control. For every person who's like me is like, you know what, I don't want to buy a thing right now because my money's low. You got idiots like Darkside Phil who don't have any self control and they'll just waste thousands of dollars on a thing.
well, I'm going, okay, well, this marketing style is really, really unhealthy. It's causing a lot of problems, but I think there's just this greater discontent in the hobby that didn't used to exist, and it's becoming a bigger problem in that
Oh
people
yeah.
are really reacting in a negative manner, and it's just under the surface, and we can all feel and sense it, but you're in a situation where people aren't willing to, well, frankly, address the problem like they should. And I think that,
And you know, you also have the issue where GW has a bad habit of trying to silence anybody who's not a shill.
yeah, well, makes it worse and worse and worse and worse as time goes on because you have more and more people just unhappy but not sure why they're unhappy, and more discontent because people are going, I don't trust this company to make the thing I care and I have invested in and to
Mm-hmm.
do a good job. And you're sitting there going, well, people are just not saying that. So it's not abandonware. It's not any of these things because that would bring a sense of relief. What it is a company that has lost the I'm not going to say respect, but they have lost the confidence in their customers, and their customers increasingly see them as the problem. And
Which they
that
absolutely are.
that is a massive problem to be in when it comes to marketing, because if your customers see you as the problem, there's not a lot of solutions, and the work you have to go through to fix that and make it where people actually will trust you again is a long and hard road that very few companies can manage because they don't generally have a leadership that stays on long enough to make those transitions.
Or that actually gives a shit about anything other than pleasing their investors.
Yeah, and I would say that having good customer relations and treating them with respect and having confidence from your customers would be a hell of a lot better for investors, but we do live in a dumb day and age. But
Well, because like the people I've seen who've bothered to address this at all are always like, well, we're not really that beholden to the customers so much as the people who put money into our company.
it's like, yes, they're called your customer.
Fucking idiots. But they're always, when they say it, they're always talking in context of the investors.
Yeah, but if
It's
people
like
aren't buying your stuff, there's no
if you're not
investors.
soluble, if you don't have a market, you're gonna lose investors, you morons.
Well, it's a long term. It's long term versus short term, and I've argued with people numerous times. There is a bad type of marketing. You can be doing well now, but in the long run, you lose because you
Yeah.
burn up your market and you lose your customers, and the investors will eventually start taking it out of your hide, and they will leave as well, and your company will crumble or get cut into
Uh,
pieces and sold
or if
off.
you really fuck up, your investors will basically stage a coup in the company and have your leadership removed or
Yeah.
replaced.
So I think what we're experiencing, and I'm going to reiterate it again because I'm sure someone's going to be like, you're an idiot, is we are experiencing a loss in confidence where people want the product to be left alone by the company that produces
Mm-hmm.
the product. And when you reach that situation, when you reach the point where your customer goes, I wish you weren't involved in the product that you make.
You know, like customer
Oh,
dissatisfaction inevitably will lead to forms of apathy, which is bad for a franchise. I mean, a perfect example, just as a brief aside, is Doctor Who right now. Nobody gives a
oh.
shit, and the one lead actress having a shit fit at people about it is only actually made it people care even less.
Well, you can't keep burning your bridges and expect people to keep opening their wallets. It does
No.
not work that way. And I think what we're experiencing is we're seeing people go, I don't like this company. I don't respect this company's
I don't
leadership.
want to support this company. They don't make anything I want.
And what you're just seeing people kind of at that begrudging point where they're like, I'm staying in because of my investment, but I really wish you weren't involved. And
Mm-hmm.
that is,
And that's the people who haven't already left.
yeah. Well, I think what we're seeing is like, look, Games Workshop did not want to bring back Old World. They wanted Age of
Oh
Sigmar, their
yeah.
100% IP friendly thing, to be what it is, and they don't like it because you can see the investment that they have put
Yeah.
into it, and it's like, well, look, the company has really lost the page because honestly, they don't understand their own customer base, and their customer base doesn't want them involved. It's just a bad situation overall. And I don't think I can say too much more about it without just constantly retreading, which people are going to be like, you already are, idiot. And be like, I know, I'm sorry, I'll go to bed, old man. But the point being is we aren't seeing a situation where people are the company isn't leaving this alone in
I'll
terms
lay
of
it out
being
like this.
abandoned.
I'll lay it out like this. People can say what they want. They can shill. They can defend the company. But at the end of the day, nothing has or is improving.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, you can see where the company has most of its interest. I don't know, with the way they do their updates to lines, it feels like it's more personal projects, and I'm glad to see
Mm-hmm.
some people care about some of them, but
Taking some kind of initiative, but at the same time,
you can
you're
see
not
where other
giving your
ones are just
customers,
obligations.
yeah, what they want. And when, yeah, like the difference between the Space Wolf stuff and any of the other recent updates, where it's just kind of like, oh, well, here's the thing.
What was the excuse for the Elder not going for almost 30 years without major updates to their units?
Oh, well, the reason would be because they only wanted to make Space Marines, but the excuse,
Yeah,
God only
instead of
knows.
expanding out what
Mm-hmm.
people could be interested in purchase, they super narrowed their market, and I think
Mm-hmm.
that's going to come back to haunt them in the end. But is there anything else you want to add?
I'm I pop on here because I have some information, I have some knowledge. I'm honestly, I've said it before, but I'm kind of done with this fucking company.
All right. Well, I think I'll close with this. I think that the Outer Circle has a number of really good points he puts in
Yeah,
his video about it. So watch his video. It has some very good points, and he's very even tempered. And on top of it, I think that what we're seeing a desire from a fan base that feels like it's being misled, abused, and mistreated to basically going, well, I would rather you, the company, like just leave. It's like someone who's overstayed at a party and you're just like, the party was great,
it's
but it'd be better if you weren't here.
I have one closing thought. It has become basically the equivalent to Disney Star Wars, where almost everybody universally is like, yeah, I just like you to just be done with Star Wars now, rather than do anything else.
I feel that it's better without you doing things, and
Yeah.
that's a bad situation to be in. And honestly, I think if people want to hear it, if they've actually watched this much, let us know. I can do a video about what I think would be good additions to Horus Heresy to open it up to more than just Space Marines. I could do a thing talking about it. I've
Mm-hmm.
had an idea for a Liber Xenos for a while as a good way of adding in more lines and having that kind of more Horus Heresy or even scouring feel to things and
Mm-hmm.
bringing in more player bases. So people want to hear that, let us know. This is a longer video. And of course, hey, go if you like this video, go check out the Outer Circle, give him a heads up, say Mr. Nobody sent you, or go to bed, old man, or whatever you want to say. And thanks for joining us, Farv. Check out his channel. He's an author. What was the book you wrote?
It's the Farvithia Chronicle. At
Is
least
it
up until the
on
sequel gets done. It's on
the
Amazon.
Amazons?
Yes.
Is it under any particular offer name that we should be aware of?
It would be under Michael K. Rose.
Okay.
And that's
Well,
right, Twitter motherfuckers, go ahead, dox me. I'm already out there. I don't care.
I've been doxxed by the military 3 times. Sorry, guys.
Exactly.
Oh no, he's from the Horsehead Nebula. Of course I am. But
Oh my
thanks,
god, I live
everybody.
in Texas. Not like I haven't said that before.
Oh no, but well, I'm an alien from the Horsehead Nebula. So thanks for joining
Well,
us. Thanks for joining me, Farv. Thanks to everyone that takes the time to check out the video. And
yeah,
have
definitely.
a wonderful day. Bye bye.
Later.